It goes in, but it holds
Max.
That's
Max.
That seems to be a fucking common thing.
But he, dude, like, no, he started Underdog Records.
Is there a bigger artist in Nashville than him?
No, not anyone who has clout. 100%.
Who?
Prototype. I mean,
Prototype's huge.
Yeah, he was huge back in like 2014. But is he doing a lot with his platform? No.
He took a hiatus, I heard.
Yeah, but he's starting to come back.
I heard he's sober now.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Move your chair kind of this way. Just get more directly in.
This way?
Yeah.
He dropped a single not long ago with Meredith Bull.
Mm-hmm. Dude, whatever track he did last year with, I think it was his girlfriend, it's beautiful. It's
he
like
lives
really
in
good
his neighborhood. I see him at the basketball court.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He was at the Road to Dance Festopia, and that was the first time we've seen each other since we did this event for him. And he was like, it was really cool. It's really cool to be recognized by people like that.
A little bit this way. You
huge pioneer in like Nashville.
No, for sure. Yeah. When the scene was nothing too.
Yeah.
Like when the scene was nothing. No,
100%. He's bass track, bass nectar.
No, yeah, dude, he's done so much, bro. He deserves his clout. But it's really kind of a privilege to have someone like that even recognize me, and like we have a cool connection. He's very nice and humble.
Very humble.
And I really like the Underdog Records thing, the whole idea of.
That's him, right?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
That's the same basic idea that Stavi started, and I've furthered. Like we want it. There's this oversaturation of talent that doesn't have an outlet, so let's give them a fucking chance.
How did he get that platform?
I don't know. I mean, he was just, like I said, you got to imagine the Nashville scene has come up so much, but if we're talking 2013, 2014, it was quite barren, very inconsistent, and you just got somebody who's producing good bangers, and that gets you clout. You know
what I've seen and noticed? Nashville, of course, Music City, right? We have everything from country to Kings of Leon, and we had a really good metal scene.
No, for sure.
Mid 2000s, if you remember, I was very deep in that. And I'm seeing these same people. Mm-hmm. Sitting right up front on the rail, headbanging for 3 hours straight that were at these metal shows, and now this transition has come to EDM.
See, man, I have.
Say what you want, but I know it. I've seen it.
I have an issue.
Let's do a good job of letting finish thoughts. That's something let's let him.
And that's it. I mean, it's an open discussion, but you're seeing that same, especially with rhythm, like we were talking about earlier.
Oh, for sure. There's a correlation.
And it's like, okay. My neck, I already have neck problems. I'm not in with that, but people love that. People 100%. Love to be on the rail for several hours straight.
People are really about the rhythm community, fucking, especially in Cincinnati. That's one of the biggest problems that I have with the fucking community in Cincinnati. Is just like it's fucking all rhythm and house. Yeah, let me slap that.
Don't make fun of some house.
By the way, just we are rolling. I just want to get this fucking out of here before we hit the 3 minutes marks. We are back with fucking episode 25, big 25. You guys,
hey, good shit. You've been killing it.
25 episodes deep.
Hello.
We are here. It looks a little bit different. I am not here with my co-host Alex Harmeyer, and that's because he is gone. And that's about all I'm going to say on that matter. So we're about to get back into the fucking thing and fucking. What y'all got? Well, first of all, you guys know Jack. You've seen Jack. He was on one earlier episode. I think it was like episode 16 or anything. We've been through that. He's not all that great. So let's introduce our new co-host today, Dalton Floyd.
Hello, guys. I'm
give yourself a little bit of
happy to be here. Yeah, happy to be here. We're here in Nashville, Tennessee, and glad to see everyone. Got Keith coming in, Jack, longtime family friend, passing around the rum. Happy to be here. You know, I've always wondered why they say your house, our rules. Here we are at my house, and it's Keith rules, and
came in hot.
I got to deal with it, I guess, just for tonight.
Dictating out here.
It is my rules, and that's the whole idea of the brand that we're building. It's your house, our rules. You're letting us into your house, and we're setting down the rules for you. We're giving the topics that we want to fucking talk about, and that honestly I think that y'all want to hear. I think that we've been making strides, very big strides, in making more quality content and talking about more relevant shit.
I agree.
I think we've been doing a real good job, but yeah, that's where the Your House Our Rules comes from.
I will say
this too. If I'm going to put you on my podcast, you're going to play by my goddamn rules.
That's how it is.
That's how it goes. You got to set a tone. I will say, hey, we're representing Cincinnati and Cheatham County hard out here, so respect to both communities. Hey, fucking doing things. Cheers. Cheers, boys. Also, Alex Harmeyer is not dead, but RIP anyway to the podcast. My bad. RIP to Alex on the podcast. But if you're listening, we need to talk about trademarking DJ Penthouse Sex as a name. We need to go that route.
Let's make it happen.
Well, we need to make that happen. What type of vibe you going to throw out with DJ Penthouse Sex, man?
I think I'm going to go real sexual with it. Just like expand on the real douchey fuckboy shit and just go real sexual. My goal is to play that track that gets, someone so fired up that they just toss the panties up on stage. That's the goal.
Ooh,
that's
panties
the goal.
On stage.
I'm going to sniff them right there, too.
Okay, well, starting off hot with the panties on stage. Guys, it's Saturday.
Yeah, we've been drinking for a little bit, y'all. So I don't know what's going to happen with this podcast, but me and Dalton have been shooting the shit since like 5 o'clock today, and it's like almost 11 o'clock.
Jack always going to be late, but
Jack
hey,
fucking doing normal fucking Jack shit and fucking showing up late as shit. So here we
busy
are.
man.
We're gonna fucking figure out what's going on. You guys got a couple topics that you want to get into, or you want to hit, and I think we should probably start off with those. Jack had wanted us to watch Into the Matrix, right?
A glitch in the Matrix.
Glitch in the Matrix.
Glitch in the
okay.
Matrix. It's on Hulu. You guys should watch it.
On Hulu about
okay.
simulation theory. I've been a little bit busy this week. I rushed out 2 podcasts last week because we had to fit in Colin into our schedule and shit like that. So I'm also doing a lot of shit for Wubbs if you want to talk about that a little bit. But
we will definitely talk about Wubbs.
We'll get to Wubbs here in a little bit. But I've been working on my set. My set's finally finished. I'm starting to work on the promo mix and also that little visual presentation that I want to have that I sent you that like
for the advertisement.
Yeah, bro.
Like
it's starting to look a lot better than I really thought it was. But yeah, we're out here. So what do you really want to get into when it comes to simulation theory, man?
So let's we'll kick it off with just like the basics. So the whole idea behind simulation theory is society, or like our civilization has advanced so far, or some civilization has, and we are essentially in a computer program that we live in, and we are in that program. We're not living a real life on planet Earth. It's a program simulated like virtual reality. That's the whole basic idea behind it. It's fascinating to me. Do I believe in it? No, I'm a scientific skeptic. I expect evidence, but I am open-minded. I believe that it's possible. And the way I had somebody present it actually in that documentary is, he said to me, to believe that we are an original outside of being a copy is actually probability-wise incredibly low. It's much more likely that there was an original and they've created this. Yeah. Just multiple simulations.
Yeah, and it kind of comes into the whole multiverse theory and shit like that. There's a when we talk about, I've talked about the Fermi paradox a couple times on this podcast, but when you think about like a society that might not want to expand outwards into the actual universe that we know, and maybe think more inwards, if you want to call it like that, and like engage themselves in like some sort of virtual reality or some shit like that, that would explain why we might not be able to see any type of aliens and stuff like that. And when you look at like the universe that we live in, everything is fucking bound by this certain laws of physics, and it's binary in a sense, and like everything fucking follows a certain type of flow. So when you're thinking about it, it kind of does make sense that we might be stuck in some type of computer simulation that has bound us to this law that we have. Yeah, and there's certain things that people point to, that people allude to is what they call a glitch in the matrix. Like there's these signs that if you pay attention to them, you might see this is a flaw in programming, right? And one of the biggest things people point to is the like the Berenstain Bears. I'm blanking on the name. What's it called? Like where people see something and they remember it as something else. I'm blanking on the name. Is it deja vu?
No, it's not deja vu. It's
that's what
Mandela effect. The Mandela effect, right? So like, and it started. The reason they call it that is because a lot of people remember Nelson Mandela dying in prison like 30 years ago. But then he died in like 2014. And it was like, wait, what? Like, I didn't even know he was out of prison. There's this whole thing, you know? So that's where it started. And then people started paying attention to other things. And those are what's called, if you believe in it, a glitch in the matrix. Something that you remember as one way that maybe it did something different. And it's a sign. If you pay, like some people believe that. And then there's a guy who talks about if you go off the normal 7-week structure that we're used to, he started recording things in a 12-week structure and a pattern over years and years, and he started noticing certain things would happen on this day out of a set of 12. It's very interesting. Yeah, it's very cool, you know. And I don't want to talk too much, so feel free to take over because I could talk about the subject just basically.
No.
Well, yeah. I mean, when it comes down to it, there's a lot of things that can fucking really be involved in like the glitch in the matrix type thing. Not even necessarily that, because you're talking about like actual like real world events and stuff that happen. But like when you think about things like dreaming, sleep paralysis, stuff like that, like those are things that like something about them just has a certain type of meaning to us. Like we've talked about sleep paralysis. I've talked about it in one of the earlier episodes of Your House, Our Rules. And sleep paralysis is a thing that I have dealt with, and like it's something that has like a profound like meaning to me, even though I don't really know what that meaning is, because there's just something there that when you're just locked in a space in your room and fucking terrified out of your goddamn mind, and like you feel like this presence is standing around you, and sometimes you even see those presences and stuff like that, you kind of have like an out of this world experience. Deja vu is kind of an experience like that as well, because like it's one of those things where it's like, did I just repeat that memory in my head instantly after I just saw it, or was this something that I have actually experienced before? So there's a lot of things that go into that.
So let me ask you, in this sleep paralysis experience, did you ever have any hallucinations?
I've seen the shadow people and stuff like that, and that's one crazy thing about sleep paralysis that is like circumstantial to all people who have it. Not everyone who has it, but like there are multiple people who have said, like, I have fallen asleep, woken up, unable to move in my bed, and I see these shadowy figures that are just like around my bed and stuff like that. Like, it's happened around the world to multiple people.
And it's going on for like multiple is a poor way to describe it. You're talking about it goes back generations upon generations.
Thousands of years.
I mean, the whole term nightmare comes from those experiences. Like, it literally does. From, like, the original mare is a term for a horse, and people who originally experienced like these like red eye beings said it looked kind of like a horse. So like that's where nightmare comes from, being asleep and experiencing these crazy, almost like, and it comes from like obviously terms of the time. Some people attribute it to like demonic possession. Some people attribute it to alien abduction. And it kind of depends on what you're influenced by. But genuinely, like, the whole thing is built around these things that we experience. So I've had them talk to me. I've had them talk to me in English. I've had them talk to me in weird languages.
The scariest moment that I have ever had in my entire life was the time when I woke up. I was a little bit younger. I think I was in high school, maybe like 15, 16 years old. And I woke up in my room. I was laying on my back, and like, it was weird because I never sleep on my back. It's either on my left side or straight on my stomach with my little fucking left leg out. And I had fallen asleep, and I remember I woke up on my back. I was completely immobile in my bed, and there were like 8, 9 shadowy figures in like hoods standing around me, just chanting a seance.
You know, it's funny you say that. They say 50% of people experience alien abduction sleep paralysis.
Alien abduction sleep paralysis.
Yeah, and it's a thing. Like, some people don't like it. No, it's crazy because like some people either don't even realize, like, people attribute it to different things.
Well, would you consider that an alien sleep paralysis abduction? Because it's something that's foreign to me.
Sure. I think it's something that, once again, it comes to what you're influenced by, but I definitely have had actual real like lucid dreaming states that came from sleep paralysis where aliens were very much so either trying to abduct me or abduct my son. I've had them where they've abducted my son in the dream, and I was so terrified when I woke up, I went and got Jack out of bed, and like I remember, like, it was so bad. It had such an effect on me, and I was so scared. Like, what if this is about to happen? I literally went upstairs. My mom was standing with me at the time, and I was like, "Hey, can we just lay with you?" And I put Jack between us both. Like, seriously, I was so terrified that I could wake up and Jack be gone. Like, literally, like, I had such a visceral, real human reaction to this dream state.
Well, now we know Jack's sleeping experience.
Yeah, hey, it was rough. It was rough. But actually, what's funny, we're talking about this. I haven't had sleep paralysis in almost like 14 months, but in the last 2 weeks, it started back up again. Just
what do you think is causing that?
I have no idea. I've done a lot of research. I've done studies on myself. I do think that some of it is thought-induced, like you bring it upon yourself. I do think some of it is like you think about it, so you manifest it to a degree. But I don't think that's
definitely. No, the thinking about it, manifesting thing is definitely a thing, because when you had told me about the whole nightmare documentary on Netflix, like I watched it. Which is great.
Y'all should watch that.
I immediately
Wait, what is the name of it?
It's called The Nightmare. It's the same guy who directed A Glitch in the Matrix, by the way.
So really?
It's the same guy.
Yeah, but when I watched it, like I was watching it, I was like, I'm going to have night terrors tonight. Like, I know it's going to happen, and sure shit, I remember you calling me about it. And like they happen.
You had the one where you're laying on your side, right? You told me, and it's like over your shoulder. Is that right?
No, that was a different experience. Okay. I had
those are some of the worst.
Because the thing about it was, when I knew that it was coming, I was more prepared for it, and that's one of the things that goes into like lucid dreaming and stuff like that. When you're prepared for it and you know what to expect, you're able to handle it. It's
like you're able to be like, "Hey, I'm in a dream," and manipulate, which I've done successfully one time, and it was a crazy experience. But it literally it scarred me quite a bit, like to the point where, I was very terrified of what that, like, it's like opening Pandora's box. Like, what if I am experiencing something that is tangible and real to some degree?
Yeah.
And it's like, what if I wake up and I'm insane? Like, I tricked something in my brain to where I experience things in a different way and I can never go back to a normal reality. That very much so terrified me and turned me off to the entirety. I thought it was quiet. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, somehow, I mean, 2021, we have medicine for everything. They still don't have medication to fix this.
Right.
I find that hard to believe.
Yeah. Well, that could go into numerous things about big pharma, but continue.
And when you're talking about like drug use and what it fixes, there's a lot of drugs out there that are that seriously help people, like Xanax. Right. I'm not a fan of Xanax because I've seen it straight up kill people around me.
Right.
But at the same time, like, that drug seriously keeps people
have to have it.
Keeps people alive.
Absolutely.
Like it's that thing where, like, drugs, like, I'm a proponent of legalizing all drugs, to be completely honest.
Right.
Because I think that people should fucking govern themselves, and, like, it's not my fault that you're not able to fucking handle your cocaine addiction. Right. Like, we legalize alcohol. Alcohol's been legal basically since the beginning of time, except for the 1920s.
Yeah, we had a small break.
when they fucking did prohibition and shit like that. Look how that worked out.
Right.
Fucking alcoholism was rampant during that time because they told people that they can't do it. And fucking drugs aren't the fucking problem. It's people's fucking
100%
psych about it, man. Well, they fucking want to do illegal shit.
Right. I'm trying to think of the gangster's name. Not fucking.
Of course, Al Capone.
Huge, yeah, but not Al Capone. I'm thinking of, he was huge, was super popular with
Jimmy
like.
Hoffa.
No, damn it. I'm trying to think. God damn it. I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'm gonna fuck up and waste time. But he was so popular with like the actual like just the population of the United States. People supported him. They hit him, you know. But like the government was so bad about, they just wanted to shut him down because he's doing illegal shit. But we're talking about things that are subjective. So governments do have a job to say what we can and can't do. I totally get that. But when we're talking about things that are wrong because the government says so versus wrong in themselves, that's a huge gray area in between. And it comes to a point of, especially if you're running on freedom in America, where you are dictating choices in someone's life who they feel they should have choices over. And I totally agree with you on that. Like, we should have, like, I mean, if we opened up that way, of course there would be chaos at first. But when you open up a community to being able to make their own choices, not only do you encourage people to get help, you encourage people like, hey, you're not going to go to prison because you're an addict. You know, like, you encourage those things. Like, it does have, like, there's going to be messiness in the beginning.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, look, you have the Netherlands, Portugal, Switzerland. Mm-hmm. Those are a couple of countries that's been doing it for a while now, and you kind of see that people are falling back. I mean, yeah, people are shooting stuff up in the streets, but I mean,
but the amount of people that are shooting up on the streets, at least, has declined dramatically.
Well, I don't know the stats.
Well, if you look at the countries like the Netherlands and shit like that have legalized like actual drugs all the way across the board, the actual like addiction rate goes down because now they are able to regulate it and tax it and fucking tell people.
I just don't know if America.
And see, that's the thing.
That may be the thing, though, is we are different. We have so many other issues. Yes, we have so many other issues as well that, like, we have this whole, like, I was talking to somebody about counterculture recently. Like, there literally is, and we're facing it now, this whole rebuttal of like the backside of society that we have created because of years of subjugation, years of oppression, and years of really just taking advantage of, not even just, we're talking about minorities, like certain demographics in general. It's white, black, whatever. Like, so now we're dealing with these people who are like demanding these same rights, and it's just, there's so much going on that we have to focus on if we're going to make it. And honestly, I say big if, because I would not be surprised if we capsize and something new will come from it. But like, dude, America as it's going, is there's no way we can continue, especially with bipartisan politics and how divided everyone is, and there's like just zero open-mindedness. And so I do think our generation and the generation after is making progress, but is it going to be in time? That's the question. Is it going to be in time? Are we going to make it as this last generation, the boomers, die out? I don't know. I don't know if we're going to make it.
I don't know.
That's fair.
That's a hard question to answer. I think that there's a lot of different views that go on, and like we kind of do shit on the boomers and stuff when it comes to politics.
So tired of
and stuff
hearing
like
that, by the way.
Yeah, it's a very fucking cliche thing to
we're
talk
all
about,
liable.
kind of, but like we are all liable. But at the same time, we're not, because like you have to be 35 years old to fucking run for office in the United States and stuff like that. So you kind of see where I'm coming from. Yes. That like there's a barrier that you have to get by, and that's an age barrier. That's limited to fucking a physical property of ourselves.
Wait, so Keith, DJ Spill, you're telling me that there's someone out there younger than 35 that could potentially be a leader of our country?
I don't think so.
Well, so what's the problem?
I think that we're not.
It's a good regulation.
I think that we're not asking.
Why not?
I think we're not asking enough questions of who could potentially lead this country. I don't think the young people have enough voice in this country. But at the same time, some of these fucking. I go to these EDM shows and shit, and of course, like they're always trying to cater to the newer fucking audience because that's the biggest audience there is. And I meet some of these younger people, and they're just stupid, man. They just don't have. I don't want to say stupid. They're not wise enough. They haven't experienced.
But that's a lack of perspective. So, like, imagine this, right? So, the 35 age barrier, I think it is a good thing because it makes sure that you've got some life experience outside of just connections, right? But if we're going to talk about just like stupidity in general, first of all, every generation can be linked to a general like amount of ignorance.
I changed my stance on that. I don't call them stupid.
Right.
Lack of wisdom, lack of experience.
But even like we all have that. We have growth to do. But like if we're going to like say for example the boomers, right? Are the boomers responsible for our current position, say with climate change? 100%. But did they know? I think a lot of people didn't. So you can't really. It's honestly like very similar. And I hate I don't want to bring this up and go too deep into it. But like society has changed so much. What we'll tolerate. Does it make it okay what they did? Absolutely not. But can we hold them completely liable? That is tough to say because you're making decisions in a time when things were different.
In hindsight,
100%. And you can't fucking knock them. Like I mean, you can.
The thing is, I'm 27 years old, and I already have seen
27 years young.
Right, there we go.
27 years young. Yeah, I've already seen that the younger generation kind of dictates more of the popular culture, but the older fucking society dictates more like the political side and stuff like that. And one day, when the boomers all die out and shit like that, fucking our generation is going to come up and probably have the same fucking radically different fucking perspective that the new fucking generation has.
Well, okay, so the pendulum always swings in the far end, for sure, right? I do expect a very progressive liberal mind state. The only thing I do hope is that the divisiveness, the very strict line in between doesn't take hold of people too much, because there are conservative values that are important. Mm-hmm. There are conservative values that are honoring our Constitution. As it would now touching on that, were our forefathers goddamn prophets? No, they made mistakes as well. So it's not a goddamn. It should be an ever-growing and ever-changing document to some degree, but I do hope that we don't have this whole really like super progressive state where it's like very liberal and we just squash all this other stuff. Should it be liberal? Should it be progressive? 100%. I do believe that. I'm leaning towards obviously the blue side of things. I'm biased, you know. But even with my political science degree, one thing I learned in those classes is people just generally like they just want to take sides and they won't actually consider a balance. You know, like there's like there is some value to the original bipartisan system, and if you study it, there's a reason that it developed that way. You know, you have federalism versus states' rights in the original days of the country, and they were for a reason. You know, but it's just toxic now.
So you picture yourself as someone who leans towards the left and stuff like that. Do you think that's really just a smart way to go about life, man? Because when I'm thinking about bipartisan government, I think that it's absolutely ridiculous for me to group me into a fucking certain group.
No, for sure.
Just based on one fucking opinion that I have, because I'm all over the place, man. Like I'm a moderate at heart, really. I really do believe in like kind of a sense of anarchy. I know a lot of people don't fucking
I get that.
like that idea, and they're like, there's no way that could happen, and I'm like, but
it could be temporary. It could be temporary, and that might happen.
I'd like to see what happens with that. Sure. And
well, like here's the thing.
This is gonna get into some weird spot if I keep going.
Well, let me tell you this. Like, do I consider myself a liberal? Of course, because that's how the label of if someone heard me talk, they'd be he's a liberal. But no, do I absolutely align myself with Democrats? I don't. I don't take their side.
The thing about
I try to be objective.
People are going to align you in what fucking alignment that they have in their own precognizant fucking memory, man.
Right.
Like I come from the west side of Cincinnati, and as you know, you've been around our family. It's a hardcore Republican fucking
very
side
conservative
of
Catholic
really?
Republican.
And like,
dude.
West side of
our
Cincinnati.
Whole family.
West side of
all
Cincinnati
Republicans,
is crazy,
all
man.
Catholics, everything. Devout too. Like our uncles are in
Shout
the
out
parish.
Davidson County.
Yeah.
Hey,
The only blue county other than Shelby.
dude, it really is
Tennessee.
repping too, and they're doing a good job. If we're talking about Nashville, like there's a lot of shit that people talk shit about it, but Nashville is a great city.
Yeah,
Tennessee,
but
red state.
But what I was going back to before, because I live in that type of community, and I have the fucking views that I do. Like, I don't believe in borders. I think that anyone should be able to live wherever the fuck they want to. I think that fucking imaginary lines are ridiculous and shit like that. And when I say shit like that around my friends in Republican West Side of Cincinnati, they're all like,
what the
libtard,
Right.
Fucking libtard, and
Right.
I'm like, yeah,
so tired
like
of that.
It's terrible.
it's awful, man.
So okay, let me talk about like this is something that that I learned during my degree field, right? So one thing, if we're talking about like philosophical beliefs, I understand where you're coming with anarchy, but I do 100% I believe that there has to be somebody somewhere who makes some decisions, because when shit gets hard, if you have to make an emergency decision, you can't go to a deliberation in the Supreme Court.
That's the way it's always going to be, man.
Well,
because when you come down to
know.
fucking pressure situations, there's always fucking the sheep and the person who's going to fucking.
I get
lead.
that, but that's
every
what
time it fucking happens, you get into some real shit. There's someone who steps up and tries to deal with the situation.
Right.
Most other people just.
So, are you familiar with Thomas Hobbes? He's a British philosopher, like a couple centuries ago for sure. So one of the things that he said that always resonated with me is a state of nature is a state of war. And what he's trying to say is, if you break things down to their bare, where like we're back in a tribal state, if you go through a tough winter with your family, with your tribe, and you're struggling, and you come across a tribe who has shit together, your first thought is going to be, how can I get what they have?
Who's calling someone right
I'm not sure. It's not me.
Is that you, Dalton?
Probably.
Anyway. Damn, is it on the one we're filming with? Will it stay filming?
It'll stay filming. Yeah, it's still filming.
We'll get
but
there. We'll get there.
You might want to go turn it on fucking night mode real quick.
It's all good.
Okay, as long as we don't get any more calls.
Continue.
But yeah, continue. Hobbes.
So anyways, he's talking about a state of nature is a state of war, and that always resonated with me, because even though I'd never really believed in it, it makes sense. It's just this general idea that we have an animalistic base to ourselves.
We do.
And most people do not. It's not that they're not capable. I truly believe that every single person has the potential. It goes back to the whole gods and worms thing, right? Everybody has the potential to be like their own god, as we would imagine it. Like just the potential to do really amazing things. Most people are never presented with that information. They don't ever understand like the wisdom behind it and what they're capable of. So people do tend to be more, not to be condescending, but on the worm side, like very much so basic. They do things as society expects them. They don't think outside the box. They're a copy of a copy, right? So, but what he's saying is, he also said to negate that is you do have some requirement in a government standing or some type of like community leadership where you have a sovereign decision maker. Even if you ought to have balances and checks, which we should have, we don't. But somebody who, when shit hits the fan, is capable to be like, this is what we've got to do.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to have that. So in a state of anarchy, you would not. You know, and that's just like, would it work temporarily? Sure. We could fix some shit, maybe. But like, what you come up with is people.
My sense of anarchy is a very idealistic perspective.
Let's give Dalton a second.
Do you realize that you are referencing someone that lived in the 15th century, Jack? Mm-hmm. Things have changed, yeah,
for sure.
However, you're not wrong, but I mean,
right.
This guy lived a long time ago.
Yeah.
We're talking about, the simple fact, someone living that long ago, how can you relate to 21st century rules?
Sure. And that's a thing where it's difficult to relate, because could they have the foresight? Absolutely not. But have people really changed inherently? No, we're still human beings. We just have more advanced tools. We have the ability to do things that we never have before. Now that's one thing.
But you don't think that changes people inherently?
No, well, inherently, no. Do we have the capability? Yes. But if we're talking inherently, the definition of that is literally at its core. Mm-hmm. This is something that is tangible, real, that is unchangeable. Inherently is a natural base thing, right?
Yeah.
So are we changed inherently as human beings? No, we're not. Maybe in some small socioeconomic groups. So if you're raised in Franklin, Tennessee, maybe that changes you a bit if you're raised with an iPad and everything. But does that change you in fucking Taiwan or South India?
When you think about inherently, and we're talking about like where we grew up in the fucking late 80s and 90s and shit like that, compared to someone who grew up in like the 20s and had to fight through World War fucking II.
Right.
Inherently, they were grown on fucking total war, world war.
Sure.
We haven't really experienced anything like that.
No, but you're also like coming from a mindset of a very American idea. Like if we're talking about Americans or like Northwest Europe and even Northern Asia, 100%. But there were people who had nothing to do with that. Like that's one thing that's a perspective that some people lapse on. South Africa, for example, had nothing to do with the world wars. Did it register for them? Do they teach about it? Probably not. So it's just like something, if we're talking about humans in a very general sense.
You don't think that South Africa teaches about the world wars? I
don't know. I'm just going off of a suggest. Like it's just like I can imagine why they would skip over it. Why does it affect their country? If we're talking about like say
the whole point that I have with inherently kind of fucking coincides with the generation that you were brought up in and the fucking things that you have experienced throughout your life. Mm-hmm. So like. Fucking, let's say like 600 years ago in the Renaissance, they have absolutely no idea the type of shit that is fucking going on today. So inherently, we would be vastly different from the people that grew up in that generation.
To some degree, I will give you, like, that is a good, like, okay, so I guess with where you're going with that, as our perspective changes as humanity, sure, we may change. Because I do think, like, people call it a utopian society or whatever, but like, I do think if we survive this next 100 years, especially is critical through climate change and all these changes in the way we treat human beings. Like, if we survive that, maybe this generation that does will have a better perspective. And yes, inherently, maybe we will be changed. But it does come through education. It comes through being raised and like, you know, like the whole thing of like, even me raised it. Like I was born in 1987 and lived through the 90s. I've always been an incredibly like tolerant and friendly person.
Shout out 80s babies.
That's right, baby. We all crack babies because we born in the 80s. ADHD crazy. Anyway, but like even dealing with our grandma, who is such an amazing person. I remember my first black friend. He was super close to me, very important, and she literally pulled me aside to have a talk about trusting him. And it was like, Grandma, he's a great guy, you know. And like that's just. That I mean,
probably one of the best friends you had.
He was great, you know, and I have many more now. And you know, honestly, I'm so happy that that's starting to die out. There are still resistances, but like we are making progress, not only as a society, but I believe worldwide. There's just more.
I believe that as a society, we're constantly evolving towards a society that is more involved with all different cultures and ethnicities. And I think the biggest thing that fucking backs that is social media. Yes. Because we are so interconnected now that like we have to deal with fucking everybody of different cultures and races and societies. So I think that it is something that we are gradually working towards a better society, but at the same time it can kind of cause more irritation in it. Sure. Because now we're all connected and we can talk shit about the culture that we don't like.
Well, I mean, social media is a great example. I mean, you can pretty much get on any time and talk to anyone you want across the world. And I think that's putting us in a platform that we're not ready for. And really, I think there's no turning back.
That was the weird thing about social media that, like, we still to this day really don't know what to do with it. No. Like all of a sudden, like when was Facebook invented? Like mid 2000s.
It's a way to vote.
So like for fucking 13 years, we've had this social media, and like that shit came out, and it's like holy shit, we're all connected now.
MySpace was like 2003. Like we're talking about. I was like. Kids are raised.
MySpace was more localized. Facebook, sure. You can meet all kinds
global,
of people.
You're right.
So now it's like.
Do you have any more beers, by the way? Are we out?
I think we might be out of beers.
Sorry, we got the rum. The rum is not gone. No, I do agree. It's a very good point as well. Like it can be so toxic, and like 90% of the time it is. But occasionally, so like I really have. I've really enjoyed this balance I've created because my job is ran with my phone. My phone and my laptop, if I didn't have them, I couldn't do what I do. So
it's a lifeline.
Yeah, it is. You know, and like I have to, now I manage all these social media accounts. So it's important for me to not only be on my shit, but to be responsive because I think that sets me apart. Someone who someone can engage with instantly. And then on top of that, when you add an email, like it is a job. But what I've tried to do is not do the like, I wake up in the morning and I don't want to get out of bed, so I'll scroll through Facebook for 20, 30 minutes. That's something that I did a long time ago.
That's key,
like,
bro.
It's key because you can get caught up. I'll see something that I'm like, God damn, this is fucked, and I want to respond, but it's like, you're not getting anywhere. You're going to say something and it's going to catch you in more of a bad mood. And before you know it, you'll spend hours in a day doing nothing.
I've been trying my best to, when I come home from work after my fucking long ass day, like I wake up at 7 in the morning, I don't get home until 7 p.m. I try my best to not sit down on the couch and watch that 1 or 2 videos before I go do what I need to do. Because if I watch those 1 or 2 videos, those 1 or 2 videos turn into 10, 20 videos.
Well, yeah, I mean, be cognizant about your decisions. When you're sitting there mindlessly swiping, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
And that's what we all have. That's the thoughts that we all have when we're doing this. Like, there's been so many times where I'm just flipping through Facebook, like, just after work, right? Just like, what am I doing? I could be doing so much better shit. And this is why I'm trying to get away from like drinking. And like, I love my boys and shit like that, but I've told them, like, I'm at a point in my life where, like, I'm not trying to just sit around and watch sports and fucking drink alcohol all day. Done. Yeah, I was like, 100%. And don't get me wrong, I need that release. I was talking to Dalton about that before. I was like, I need that one day a week that, like, I go out and I get fucked up and, like, I have that release where I'm not just thinking about shit. But at the same time, like, if I can do that and, like, create a fucking song or create a visual or fucking do something in the meantime, like, I would much rather do that. And I'm really trying to convince the people that are close to me to do the same thing.
No, for sure.
And I don't know if necessarily they're down for it, but at the same time, that's going to fucking be the make or break thing in my life moving forward.
Well, as you like, and there's a thing about like, kind of, it sucks, but like growing out of friendships, like sometimes you do, and it's not that you outgrow people grow in different directions. People want this versus that. There's nothing wrong with being mid-20s and you decide that you want to marry somebody and have kids. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's not for everybody. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't trade my journey for anything. And like you said, proud of you because it takes a lot to work a legitimate, hard, taxing job and come home and be like, you know what? I have dreams and passions I need to set time for. Mm-hmm. And I do see that in you. You're a fucking asshole, but I do respect that. Like, seriously, like, and you love video games. It's an outlet, but how often you choose being productive over that is important.
Yeah. And I've been doing it a lot lately.
You have been, I've noticed, and that's something like I have really found stride with lately as well, because a lot of times it's like, well, I'm bored. I guess I'll play some games. I make it a point now where like it's like I tell myself I'm my own boss because I am. I have all this free time. If I'm not producing, whether it's writing, music, working on Wubbs, working on Hey Man, like if I'm not doing that 8 hours a day, I wasted that day. I tell myself that. And when I journal at night, it's like, well, what the fuck were you doing? And now you can't get it back.
Well, being your own boss is going to take you working without getting paid.
For sure, 100%.
And there's a difference. There's a difference between being your own boss like mentally and physically.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, just to be able to sit there and push yourself. I mean, it's real easy to sit there and play video games or smoke weed all day, but like, can you make yourself get up and take the extra step to do whatever it takes to become successful?
Right. Mm-hmm. To not justify bullshit and to have willpower. And
I'll tell you what, man, they don't make more time.
No.
And how are you compartmentalizing that time to become productive and making yourself a little bit better today than you were yesterday?
Very good. Well said. And that brings me to this funny thing I thought about recently. It's like, you know how many times I hear people utter like the cliche that time is a construct? And it is, but it is measurable. There's beginnings and ends to thing, right? But I hear these same people talk about time as a construct, but they're the same people who will justify their bullshit like, oh, I don't have enough time in the day. Well, if time's a construct, why can't you? Why can't you spend an hour reading?
Thing I hate hearing
it's terrible.
I don't have enough time to work out.
It's terrible.
I don't have enough time to cook.
To read or anything.
You have the time.
Yeah, you just don't.
Whether or not you choose to utilize this time.
Right. I'm in a point in my life where like it's really hard to utilize the time that I have. But at the same time, the time that I have, I'm utilizing.
I will say there are some people. So like you work like I said, a taxing job. My bad. You work a taxing job, and then on top of that, right there.
Yeah.
Okay. You work a taxing job, and then on top of that, you are worried about your side hustles and your passions. Mm-hmm. That does take balance, and sometimes you'll fall off.
Shout out side hustles.
Shout out. Hey, they're important. No, for real. There's times where I find myself, I'm like, okay. So for example, I literally consider this Monday through Wednesday the most productive 3-day span I had in my entire life, which is saying something. Like I spent every day in a flow state working, So I took Friday off yesterday. But what I found from that is I woke up today and it's like, I'm glad I took the day off to just like be free and like get away from my phone. But it's like, I'm still working. It is, but like I'm still working on not waking up in the morning because like so Jack's with his mom, right? I wake up in the morning and my what's the word I'm trying to look for? So like my reason to be on my shit is gone. So I wake up in the morning and just justify bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'll get up and like I'll play some games at like 10 a.m. I just waste time.
I justify bullshit all the time, dude. One of the biggest justifying bullshit that I do in my entire life is continuing to smoke cigarettes. And like I've cut out
that's a huge one.
I've cut out fucking cigarettes during the week and stuff like that, but still it gets to the weekend and I'm just fucking like, oh well, we made it to the weekend, so now I can smoke as much as I want to.
Bro, don't we all do that?
It's human nature, unfortunately.
Everybody does that.
My worst thing, I'll work out all day long and eat an entire pizza.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So it's okay, but really it's not. And
you justify it.
That's human nature, so don't beat yourself up for that too bad.
It's funny too, like you mentioned food, because like that's always been an issue with me. I am just now, like, shout out Kendra if you watch this. She has been on my shit for years about eating healthier, and even though like I'm one of those
20, people, 80% eating, 20% physical,
in the gym.
100%. You know, and like it's funny because like I always use my own like relative health as a testament. I'm like, oh, I was raised on chicken nuggets and pizza, and look at me now. I'm 33 years old and I'm giant. I'm in, generally in shape. And she's like, but imagine where you could be if you didn't. And that's what gets me. It's like, and then she talks about my son. He has way better eating habits than me already, but I want to continue to work on him because like I want him to be healthier. I don't want him to ever go through the stages I did. I was incredibly overweight as a kid. And then I shot up 2 feet and was as skinny as a beanstalk. I'm sure you remember in high school. So it is important. Eating healthy, goddamn, do it. Don't even, just do it. Whatever you got to do, eat healthier. Even if you got to pay someone to teach you or food prep, it is so important.
Well, it's easier said than done.
100%. I literally struggle with it every day. Some days I'm on my shit and I'm cooking turkey burgers and everything else, and then the next I'm like, damn, I'm busy. I'll fucking cook a frozen pizza. It's just like that.
Yeah, and when you can get the 99-cent cheeseburger or the $5 salad,
right?
What are you gonna do?
100%.
Yeah,
it's a thing. And then also when time plays a part, which time is an issue, even though like I'll be so busy and I'll have to drive to meet somebody for like I took somebody out for a professional dinner the other day to talk about their venue, and I find myself in such a rush, and I'm like, well, why not just grab a cheeseburger and fries before I go home, because I know I'm gonna be busy. And then before I know it, I'm just like, I feel like I literally do, like I never used to.
Don't get me started.
I used to feel like didn't matter, but like since I've started just feeling out what eating good makes me feel like I legitimately do feel bad, like worse when I eat worse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you feel sluggish. You're not digesting it the same.
Right.
You're not passing it the same. The statement "you are what you" cannot be more true. And as I'm getting older, I'm seeing, we can't just eat those Hot Pockets, those Totinos every night. And don't get me wrong, I fucking love them. But
right.
I've had my Totinos.
I mean, if I don't have Tums with me, 24/7, what am I doing?
And that's interesting you bring that up, because as we get older, it's like we develop, like I've noticed I never used to have any food allergies, and it's probably because of my abusive.
Did you get a gluten allergy?
No gluten. I'm glad, but also fucking shout out these people with gluten allergies. They suck. Like I know people with them. They suck.
Terrible.
Like don't talk shit up. They suck, bro.
Everything.
Bro. No, I'm
everything.
talking But no, I developed this really nasty seed allergy, and I found it when I started trying healthier foods. Like I can't remember what they're called. I'm actually minor. Like I had to go home from Western one day. I tried one of those protein packs they have in there, and it had sesame seeds. Bro, I used to eat sesame seeds all the time, and I had a very minor, but a minor allergic reaction in my throat to where I couldn't breathe. But there's some seeds that like literally sent me to the hospital. Kendra made this like healthy protein oatmeal one time. And midway through eating it, like I started getting like we're like, and I was like, damn, what is going on? I never had this. And like when I finished the bowl, I was like, oh shit, I have a food allergy. And we had to go to the fucking ER. Like I was afraid I was gonna die.
Really?
It was bad. Like it was like a whole thing.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it was crazy.
I hear all the time about people that don't even know they're like allergic to peanuts or gluten or whatever it may be. Like I cannot imagine what that would be like if you're just
peanut butter for sure. Nuts in general. Like goddamn, please don't take peanut butter from me. Like dude, I put peanut butter.
That's
in
gotta
oatmeal,
be terrible.
Bro,
yeah.
I'm gonna step away to urinate like you, bro.
I mean, that's gotta be terrible.
Oh yeah, awful.
So, you don't have a peanut allergy, do you?
I don't know. Actually, peanut butter kind of goes on everything. I don't know.
Peanut butter,
you guys are
literally
creamy or chunky fans, but
oh, homie, if you don't go for creamy peanut butter, you're out your mind. The chunky peanut butter is the peanut butter that you put on your dick so the dog licks it off.
I don't know. I feel like creamy could be a little easier, more conventional for the
but
dog.
it's not for a human. That's what you would give
Then
your girl.
I'm out.
That's what you would give your girl, dude. Just let her some smooth peanut butter on there and be like, hey, baby, suck this up. But, like, you want to get some dog head, crunchy peanut butter all the way.
Speaking of peanut butter, I've been going back and revisiting the Uncrustables.
Bro.
Say what you want, but...
Uncrustables are the single best snack at a music festival.
Okay. I mean, I could see that.
Miller put me on that.
I mean, they don't really... The shelf life is a few months.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much. Very low maintenance. I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's one of those things where, like, well, it depends. Because the peanut butter can fuck you up, man. The peanut butter can put you in a space where, like, you're just chomping on shit for, like, hours on end. If you're fucked up enough,
dry mouth syndrome.
Like you ever been drunk as shit and, like, you're trying to eat late at night and fucking you have, like, something like that, like peanut butter, and you're just chomping.
Cotton
chomping
mouth.
and chomping
Yes.
and chomping. Fucking sucks, dude. That's the problem that I had that I was talking about you earlier with the, like, diet that I was doing when I was really trying to put on some weight. When I was eating 4,000 calories a day of just, like, actual good food. Like, I remember lunchtime, I would have 1,000-calorie shake, which isn't as filling because it's mostly liquid.
1,000 calories? How the fuck do you even do that?
Strawberries, a whole milk, yogurt, 2 scoops of protein powder, a banana, and some oats.
And raw eggs, right?
And some oats.
You motherfucker eating some raw eggs.
I actually did put raw eggs in there a couple times.
Not surprised.
It's a good source of protein if you really want it, and, like, I couldn't drink actual, like, raw eggs, like, that's disgusting, but I could put them in my shake for sure. It gives them some consistency too. And dude, the shakes that I had, they were more like, I don't even want to say milkshakes, they were more like soft serve ice cream, man, because, like, they were thick.
So just to fill you guys in, Keith over here, 6'6". And last time I seen him, he's probably packed on a solid 20 pounds. So, really proud of this guy over here. Doing the work, do what it takes.
Thank
He's
you,
been
man.
working hard, man.
I appreciate
It's not
that.
easy. So, I do see the way that you're going, man. I'm really proud of you.
Yeah, man.
Bro.
I've been really on this part of my life where, like,
Good for you, man.
I'm trying to get fucked up less, and I'm trying to, like, put all that into weightlifting.
Health is wealth, man. And, you know, if you don't have that health, what are you doing? You know, it's cool to work hard and play hard, man. But, you know, to take care of yourself and you have that mental state, I'm really proud of you, man. I know it's not easy.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
That's one thing that you can't buy. You know,
you can't buy willpower, man. And, like, that's something that I think that my parents have really done well in my upbringing, that they have instilled in me. Like I told you before, like, I never had the option as a kid to fucking quit my job and fucking get on unemployment, which is a lot of the reason why companies can't get money right now or can't get employees right now. And, like, my entire life, I've just been working since I was 16 years old. I remember when I was, like, 19, 20 years old, I had a really bad day when I was working at Little Caesars and, like, fucking fast food,
yes.
fucking $5 pizza. At the time, we were selling $5 pizzas out that bitch.
Yes.
And, like, I remember I put in my 2 weeks notice and I called my mom. I was very frustrated and pissed off, and I was living with them at the time, and I was like, yo, just so you know, I'm fucking quitting this job. I'm going to try and find something else. My mom told me straight up, she said, if you don't go back in there and fucking cancel that 2 week fucking discrepancy that you had, then you better not come home. And I was like, well, shit, I don't want to be 19, 20 years old and fucking homeless.
No,
so,
and you weren't going to come home empty-handed either.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, my mama definitely would have kicked me out of that goddamn house if I would have showed back up like that. That's one thing about my parents. Like, I grew up in a strict family, and, you know, we don't always agree with the things that our parents have. We probably start to resonate more with them as we grow older. But they really instilled work ethic in me, and that's something that has carried on to this day in my life. Like, I go hard at everything that I do, man. No matter what it is, I give 100%.
Our family did do a great job of that. Honestly, like, that's Dalton can resonate with this as well. Like, not only was it like a family thing, my dad especially really kind of like
Big Jack
whooped it in my, like, I remember him coming. I remember my dad coming down and running sprints with my high school football team and smoking everybody as like a mid-30, like seriously, in work boots to come pick us up and just smoking everybody.
No warm-ups.
Literally, no warm-ups.
I'll tell you what,
40-yard dash, just literally like. And when I say smoking, like Donnie Thomas was super fast and he was beating him. But also, man, shout out to all my coaches, because literally from high school
talking about
college,
that before too. We had a couple of conversations before too.
I'll tell you, man.
The bond towards
Coach Patterson, Coach Finley, those people were so. Coach Stegall, even for all the flack he gets for some shit, bro, that motherfucker, he would have me hating my life, but afterwards would take the time to sit down with me.
You'll remember him for the rest of your
100%.
life.
And like he would sit down with me like, hey, this is why I did this. Like, it wasn't just to punish you. You need to push yourself. Like, it was like one of those things like you
and now you're
potential.
carrying those life skills.
100%.
And
I wish I could shake those people's hands today,
dude,
you know,
all
for
the
sure.
time.
My dad used to do that, man. I remember when I was in like grade school and shit like that. My friends would try to come over and like hang out with me, and my dad had like this rule that like you have to shoot 100 free throws and 100 3-pointers before you fucking do anything.
Sure.
Like it just
you get nothing you enjoy until
just
you do
instilling that. And like at the time, I was fucking so against it.
How old were you then?
Bro, he's been doing that since I was in 3rd grade and shit.
Oh,
like
nice.
That. But
that's
I will.
A really good
but
habit.
it is, and it is. But like at the same time, like that can seem very extreme to a lot of people. But
right.
when like freshman year, when I was 5'8", trying out for the basketball team, and I didn't make it, I had geared myself towards drumming.
Make it.
Yeah, that just shows.
Let's hear about that. Let's hear about
the
this.
talent he was up against.
I want to hear this.
I had geared myself after that
no,
to more of a
pause. How did you not make the team?
Okay, so when I showed up to freshman year basketball camp,
I gotta hear this.
Shit, man, this is going to get into a lot of shit.
Let's hear it.
If you know anything about,
share, please do.
Were there taller kids than you in your grade trying out? I'm just curious. Were there
trying
taller?
out? Yeah, I was 5'8".
So okay, I got you.
Late bloomer.
Yeah.
Wait, so as a freshman,
As a freshman, I was 5'8".
yeah, okay, that is okay. I got you. Yeah.
As a sophomore, I was 6'3".
Right.
But when I didn't make the basketball team, I had geared myself more towards a creative flow point, and like I wanted to be a musician. That's when I picked up drums. I'd already been playing guitar for a while, but I thought drums were a little bit more my angle.
Very interesting.
Yeah, dude, I was playing.
He was really good.
I was playing gigs with my band when I was like 15, 16 years old.
Okay.
Shit like that. So yeah, I've been in the community for a little bit, but yeah, when I tried out, see, I went to Elder, which is a D1 high school.
Is this the Catholic school you're speaking
Yeah,
of?
I went to all boys Catholic high school. Elder. Most people watching this knows exactly what the
Elder's
fuck is going
huge, but yeah, all boys and Catholic. That's why
Wow.
I never wanted to go there. I was like, nope,
I didn't know.
they're huge.
It's a weird thing.
Like they're huge. Like they're really
when
good.
it comes to like high school football, and like I know that's a weird thing to say if you're looking at it from someone from a different state, but when it comes to high school football, the GCL South, which is St. X, LaSalle, Moeller, and Elder, where I went to school, they are literally the top ranked high school football program in the entire country every single year.
I don't know.
No, they're really good. Like,
No, they really-
like, they stand up there like literally with
Dalton,
Texas for like how serious they take it.
I'm not
Look it up.
I'm
You got
not
the
fucking
computer.
with you.
Look it
the
up.
reason why I like Friday Night Lights, the series, so much is because like that's the environment. That
They really are up there with Texas.
When
for
I
how
tell you-
serious they
when
take
I
high
tell
school
you-
football.
when I
Like,
tell
whole
you
town
that-
shut down.
When I tell you that 250 kids graduated from me around that, and like 110 of them tried out for the freshman football team, I mean it. So when I tried out for my freshman football team, and when you go down the street to Oak Hills, whose public school district I was in, who has 3,000 people, it's like the 3rd biggest fucking school
Oak
in
Hill.
the entire.
Okay, tell me some alumni from Oak Hill.
What now?
Oak Hill.
What about it?
Who went there?
A relevant one, because there are none. Oak
Yeah,
Hill
no,
sucks.
we're talking about the comparison between that public
Yeah,
school.
there were
versus-
3,000. There were
Elder pushes people.
There
out.
were 3,000 people that went to that public high school. There were 1,000 people that went to my private high school, and there were about 20 kids who tried out for the freshman team of Oak Hills, and there were about 75 that tried out for Elder.
Basically what you're getting is like a more like families pushing people more towards getting into.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing about it. If you look at Elder, what it is, it's probably the. I'll say it. It's probably the most beautiful fucking high school campus that there is.
It's really nice.
You ever been there?
Yeah,
they have a
their
horseshoe
stadium as well.
They have
really
a
incredible.
horseshoe fucking stadium that sits 10,000 people, and it overlooks this fucking Gothic style like church building that they go into school in.
So we're talking Ohio.
Mm-hmm. This is Cincinnati, Ohio.
The home of the NFL Hall of Fame.
That's Canton.
It's still in the state of Ohio.
That's Canton. Yeah, it is. Yes, that's Canton.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got some deep roots.
No, it is. I mean, you got to think like even though the
deeply
Bengals
rooted,
and the Browns,
and that's another thing that I will say about it. There's a lot of fucking politics and shit that goes on because, like, dude, all our uncles went to fucking Elder.
Yeah.
And fucking everyone before them went to fucking Elder.
Which is actually kind of funny to me. I've always thought this is interesting. Like, I do sometimes, like, I'm really happy with where my life worked out. But there was a time in my life where I legitimately believed I was going to go to the NFL. Like, I really did believe that. And I wonder if my journey would have been different if I never moved and went to Elder versus Cheatham County, where they don't. It's not as right?
Jack, I'll tell you straight up, it would have been a lot different.
I get
if
that,
you would have been
but
able to
also
go.
like when I consider my dad's side of the family, like my dad was like a really like he was like a all-state receiver and I believe all-state punter, maybe even all-American punter for Western Hills. Like he was incredibly talented,
super athlete.
But he was just such a fuck. Like my dad was more of a fuck than any of us will ever be. Like shout out to my dad, I love him, but like he was the youngest of 9. Just raised in that whole toxic masculinity, 80s hair metal style,
raised in a very fucked up situation.
And he like I don't mean to get I will definitely filter this, but like some of the stories he's told me about what he was doing in high school, even some of the things I've done in my adult life, it's like wow, like what a crazy.
So let me ask you this: so when we were in high school, prime time shape, playing football on those Sunday days when he would come out there and play with us, how old do you think he was?
So he's 21 years older than me. So
you were 18.
Yeah. So 39.
39.
Yeah, 39 at the most.
This man was mossing us.
Yeah, he really was.
At the peak of my physical condition.
Right.
I mean, on a completely different level.
In work boots, and he like literally like legitimately like.
Did I tell? Have I ever told you where my love for Timberlands came from?
My dad.
Your dad, yeah.
Well, honestly, like, and the thing
The
is,
Tims?
like,
He broke the Tims out.
Bro,
yeah,
I remember one time specifically, I was in middle school and like we have those Paris festivals that happen around Cincinnati and stuff like that. And your dad showed up in fucking like shorts and Timberlands, bro. And
Probably either shirtless
I
or
was
in a cutoff.
I was like, I don't know what it is about these wheat fucking boots that he's got on, but I'm gonna wear those when I was older. And like, yeah.
So, like, the thing about my dad, and to give myself a little background here, is like he was incredibly athletic. Did some of his crazy usage have to do with how fit he looked?
Absolutely.
For sure. He was hippie crack skinny.
Absolutely.
For sure. But the dude was like so ripped, like a 6-pack in his late 30s. But like he, I don't know.
Was he smoking cigarettes at the time? Because I was mind blown.
Bro, yeah, he does. Did he have long range stamina? No, but in a 40-yard dash.
When it came to mossing me.
Well, apparently my Uncle Joe, his brother, was faster than him. So apparently my Uncle Joe ran a legit 4.3 in high school, and my dad ran like a 4.35. Like they were super fast. It was just whatever. I don't know.
I'd beat the shit out of your dad in this problem.
So
bro, come on, dude.
As we're here, Al Bundy talking about the heydays. We're wrapping up on an hour. I don't want to ramble about stupid stuff. Let's go back and bring it back real quick. And how do you see us rebounding from this COVID tip?
Okay, that's a really good point. So I mean, obviously it's still super divisive. It's such a political topic. But I think the only way to go about it is to push forward with lessons learned. And I do think that masks are going to become a somewhat consistent part of some parts of our life. My son, even though there's no mask mandate, wears a mask at summer camp. Right?
Great for him.
And I think it's a good thing. I think they should. Like, why not? Why not? Like, you know,
it doesn't hurt anyone.
Eastern cultures have been doing it for a while.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
10 years ago, I noticed this.
I think that we're going to move forward and learn a little bit. Is there going to be resistance? Of course. But I think it will be overall healthy for us as a community, as a society, as a country, and also hopefully that ripples out in the world. We obviously have an effect. But if COVID proved anything, we are so behind the 8 ball on so many things, and Americans are so overly patriotic and have this, we're the best country, and we're not. We are failing our people
We're approaching
ways.
July 4th, which is like our heyday, right? And if you look in the news right now, Vanderbilt is playing NC State. Their entire team was vaccinated.
Oh, really?
They still got COVID.
Oh, no shit. I
Yes.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
we don't know it all.
No,
vaccinations don't fucking.
Well, science is never settled anyway, and there's mutations. So, like, and that's where I stand on it. And I do have a.
Yeah, now we're talking about the fucking Delta strain, bro.
Well, the thing with me is
that's
like
the fourth strain.
I will get a vaccination.
The European version?
Me for access. Like, say if I want to travel, which I do.
The only reason why I did it.
Exactly. If 2 years from now someone's like, you can't go to here or here unless you're vaccinated, sure, I'll do it. But if we're going to talk about like my son, which is a touchy subject, I do believe we're coming to a point where they're going to force vaccinations on children to go to school. That'll be the only time where I vaccinate them. At this point, I
hope you're wrong, but you could be right.
But I'm such a scientific skeptic. Do I believe in the science? Yes, but do I think we rushed it because we had to? Yes, 100%. And I do not want my son to be a guinea pig. I hope that nothing ever happens. I hope nobody has any...
Are they making students do it?
No, not yet. Maybe some places.
College students, yes.
Not here. Not college, but like Jackie's public school program, it is not mandated at all. And I'm hoping it stays that way. I do not believe.
But how many other vaccinations does he get?
To be completely honest with you guys, if we look at the way that if we look at the way that fucking society is going, do you really think that they're going to be able to like force vaccinations on people?
Oh yeah, I mean people.
Dude, there
cannot go to the next grade.
Dude, there are so many people who will not get that fucking vaccination.
Sure, until it means
and that's why.
money.
That's why. Listen, bro, they're offering cash incentives to get this fucking vaccination.
Right.
That speaks worlds for where you are with this fucking vaccination.
I get it.
When you have to fucking offer cash to people, fucking you might win $1 million if you get vaccinated. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, I get it. It's
the fuck.
You know, but to touch back on what you asked about Jack's vaccinations, and I am not an anti-vaxxer. I want to say that I am a scientific skeptic.
It's crazy how we're making everyone anti-vaxxers.
No, but I do totally believe in the science behind it. You know, we have eradicated diseases because of these things. But I actually do not make Jack get vaccinations unless they are absolutely required. He does not get the flu vaccine every year, and I will say, people can judge me on that. He has been sick one time in the last 2 years, and he had.
What grade is Jack in?
He'll be in third grade.
How many vaccinations has he had?
He had a lot. He had the mandatory when he was 4, and it was the craziest. Like it's like one of those things. They
give you like 5 shots.
What is the mandatory?
It was 18. Bro,
when you're a certain age, they just fuck you up.
They put him on a fucking like a cardboard board, and
you have to do it.
Shoved it into his back.
You have to do it.
100%. It's part of society.
If you want to get that cell phone,
for sure,
agree to my terms. If you want to get internet, agree to my terms.
If you want to be an
American,
guys,
it's gonna happen.
A lot of those fucking vaccinations were like for really damaging things.
No, it's a thing.
A lot of those vaccinations though are for like very damaging fucking diseases that we have had in the past that have long since been forgotten, like smallpox. That's a lot of the reason why we do that shit.
No, for sure. Well, also like before we wrap up, one thing about like all that stuff is like so one of the worst arguments I've dealt with as far as people who are anti-vaxxers is like the whole autism thing. There's a correlation, right? There's people see here's the increase in vaccinations, here's the increase in like autistic diagnoses, right? But correlation doesn't always mean causation, which is a very simple thing that people don't understand, right? And basically what I would say as far as my argument with which is I'm fairly ignorant in a lot of things, especially when it comes to biology and vaccinations. I have no idea, but we didn't understand autism for a long time. So if we're just starting to understand it as a society and we're starting to be like, hey, this person is on the spectrum, there is a correlation between our increase in vaccinations, which is required. So it's easy to be like, well, here we have this autism spike, here we have a vaccination spike, but does it absolutely mean that it's causing it? I think no. I really do
I think there are more people that have autism than you think.
Oh, 100%.
Everyone's on the spectrum.
And look,
every single person's on the spectrum.
I will tell you this, like when we talk about people...
This is actually something that I've had talks with my cousin Rachel and shit like that. And our cousin Jimmy is actually on...
Fully autistic. Yeah, like he's very much
he's autistic. He is...
To the point where it hinders his...
I don't know if it's Asperger's or Asperger's. My mom always fucking drills me on this one, but like...
Apparently it's Asperger's, but it sounds weird.
Yeah, I've always called it Asperger's, but he's legitimately autistic, like fully on the spectrum. And like we were talking about this before, man, like he's been demonized in our family because, like,
which is unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate, but it's because, like, our family just doesn't understand what the fuck is going on.
Which is a huge thing with a lot of people in our family. No offense, love you guys, but, like, the open-mindedness needs work. But if we're gonna, like, one thing I was talking to a friend about, she was talking about how scared she was to have a kid. Because her fear of, like, well, what? No matter what she does, if she treats the pregnancy exactly as you're supposed to, there's still the chance, right, that a child could come out and be on the spectrum. And I said, look, yes, that's a chance, but if we could just quickly reference Elon Musk, who is very clearly on the spectrum, and it probably did inhibit him at some point, but he learned how to. Really, I mean, honestly, like, he learned how to focus on the genius part of it and has enhanced. I mean, he's one of the most influential people in the world. He makes a fucking tweet and crypto shoots up and down. Like, it's crazy.
The thing about fucking autistic people that people really do not understand is, like, they are very generalized into one topic. Right. Like Jimmy Joe in our family, like, he is very eccentric about Nintendo video games. And that's like his niche. But my mom,
at least that's a good one.
my mom used to teach Sunday school, and she had an autistic student, and, like, this dude could rewrite code on a computer at 8 years old.
Awesome. Right, and it matters how you harness it. Literally, that is what it is. Like, if you understand it and you're able to direct, because it, like, people do say it's a link more to, like, our genius side. Like, it literally is tapping into, I can't remember which side it is, like left brain or right brain, but, like, there's this organizational part of you that if you use it, like,
I think right side is more scientific and mathematics, and left side is more reading and English.
If we're talking literature. Like creative side, left side, right? Yeah, okay. So if we're talking right side, like, this whole photographic memory of numbers, for example, can be such a huge boon to how you advance in society. Because then you see a formula that, say, someone like me who saw it and just it went out of my mind, you remember it, you know how to attack it, and then before you know it, you're looking at things that make no sense to people, and it's nothing to you. And that really is. And then you think about how many people all over the planet who they don't have the access to greater school systems, greater education, who could be legitimate geniuses and could be solving problems in our community
all the time.
Literally,
that's the single biggest fucking difficulty that we have in this world is we do not give credit to other peoples.
Well, it's not even credit. It's the lack of accessibility, and then we also have this general like egotistical idea of Americans and then white people in general. God damn it, that's so like we are the supreme, and we fuck up our potential with that.
And that's the thing about it. Fucking people from the United States really think that we're like these supreme beings that are so much more intelligent and so much more physically capable than everyone else in this world. But like if you branch out, there's 330 million people in the United States. There's 7 billion people in this world. When we're talking about like when we're talking about fractions, like we're very insignificant, and we could do a lot better. And I think that in order to become an advanced civilization, like we would talk about with like aliens and stuff like that, like just talking about an advanced civilization, in order to do that, we have the ability to grow and learn off of each other, and we have so many people in this world that are willing to do that. We just need to give like it's off, but we just need to give like 7/8 of the population the ability to actually sit there and think creatively. It was something that I talked about on the last podcast. I don't know if you watched or anything.
I haven't seen the latest too. I think
I was talking about like universal income and how I think that it could be something that is beneficial, because if we move towards like a more automized society where like robots are doing the more blue collar menial jobs and stuff like that, then that opens up people to be more creative and scientific with their thinking, and that could advance us heavily in the future.
Agreed.
Yeah, but at the same time, when we look at what's going on right now with the coronavirus, where we're paying people $600 a month to just fucking not work and shit like that, then kind of creates an issue. So
I agree with that.
Yeah.
No, I do totally. Like, it's funny because so this other documentary I told you about, like outside of A Glitch in the Matrix, you should watch Unacknowledged on Hulu, and it's literally like one of the most comprehensive arguments for UFO visitation that I've ever seen. And like, bro, like when I tell you, in my late teens and early 20s, I believed it 100%. I dug into all the videos, all the research like that. I spent most of my free time doing that, especially after I got kicked off the football team. And then in my mid-20s to late 20s, when I started getting my degree, I became more of a scientific skeptic just because I erred more on the side of like I require evidence.
Evidence. That's exactly the way.
Not like if I have an anecdotal personal experience, sure, right? But still, I require something empirical that other people can view and decide on, right? But this right here has kind of flipped me back to the other side, where like seriously, it's only 90 minutes. And it's so comprehensive and includes so much information, and it's all these high-ranking like military officials who have no reason to lie.
No, dude,
bro, it's
we
crazy.
Talked about it in the episode that we did about aliens.
You
man.
guys did a good job with it.
Like,
but hey, you need to watch this because like what they do and the way they present it is something else. And then they also talk about like how we could potentially be heading towards a you're familiar with a false flag event. Are you familiar with that term?
Maybe.
So it's like if you imagine 9/11 as a staged, or at least we understood what was happening, hoax. That was a false flag event to get the American population to get on board with our war with the Middle East so we could attack and take advantage of their oil, right? That's a false flag event.
Okay, yeah, no, exactly.
Invented to manipulate the populace, right? So in this, they talk about how they expect a false flag event coming, where kind of like Orson Welles did the whole radio thing back in the but bigger than
War of the Worlds,
bigger than COVID, like literally an alien invasion as a reason to we all need to unite.
Wait, dude, we've been doing it forever. Fucking when you look back at the fucking thing, like Project Blue Book is like a real thing. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Like because of the fucking tensions that we had with Russia, the United States government had fucking agents who were legitimately trying to convince us that this shit was all fucking not UFOs because they didn't want people to get scared that it might be Russia or something like that. Yeah,
it's a crazy thing, and like one of the things. So like we didn't touch on this, and I know we're not rolling. One of the cool things
we are rolling.
Oh, we are still rolling.
Yeah,
cool.
I've been rolling.
So if you do watch A Glitch in the Matrix, and we're kind of jumping around here, hey, these dope segues that Your House Our Rules has.
We never have dope segues.
But one of the cool things that they talk about is kind of like the origination of simulation theory, even before it had a name.
So let's get into it a little bit. We
Sure.
can go for a little bit more because we never actually talked about simulation.
Let's talk. So like Philip Dick was a writer in like the 60s and 70s, yes, and he's the one who really furthered the idea, and his experiences with basically. He would have these experiences where he felt he was like in this, like I'm going to do a terrible job. Watch it. But like he was kind of like the originator of it, the simulation theory taking hold. But since people have ran with it, they've started referencing older, like basically philosophical tenets that kind of have, they have like a simulation theory idea. So if you're familiar with Plato's, what is it? Allegory of the Cave. Okay. Allegory of the Cave, which is one of my favorites, right? The whole idea behind that.
You're talking about the
Plato, right? Okay. So the whole idea behind.
Plato.
No, it's Plato. So like.
No, it's Plato.
Allegory of the Cave, right? He talks about if you imagine three men chained up, imprisoned, right? And they're in a cave. All they can see is this backdrop of a wall, a cave wall. And everything they're presented in their reality is a shadow from, say, a fire or a source of light behind that, be it an actual fire or be it the cave opening, whatever. So if you imagine people actually literally like, I don't know, fucking either doing shadow puppets or figures, all they see for their reality is this shadow on the wall. So their idea of, say, like a horse is someone's impression of their hand, whatever. It's just like the whole thing is like they have no actual reality. They have nothing to base their reality on except for that. Well, one day, one of the imprisoned people gets away. He runs out of the cave and he's immediately blinded by the sun's light. He's never adjusted to it. So his first impression is, I'm not ready for this, right? So he shuts his eyes and he takes a minute and he slowly starts to open them. And then he sees these beautiful flowers, all these colors he's never seen before. He sees the sun. He sees whatever, trees, dirt. And it's incomprehensible. He has nothing to frame it against. There is just this huge difference.
Jack, again, let me stop you right here.
Sure,
We're referencing someone 2,500 years ago. Okay, tell me how this relates to today's society.
I'll get there. Okay, actually, that's a good question.
Plato had some very fucking advanced views on like our entire physical world.
So let me. I can wrap that all up really well. It's a good question. So look. So then the prisoner gets captured eventually, right? He gets captured and he's taken back to the cave. And he tries to explain to the fellow people that he's locked up with what he saw. Not only do they think he's crazy, but they don't believe him, right? So how this would wrap into our normal
yeah.
world is when you have people who have this very limited perspective, they've never been introduced or experienced things that would, to put it as Jason Silva does, expand your cognitive Kansas to where the point that it blows your mind to the point where you can never look at reality like the same again. When that happens, you just like it's when you're talking to people who don't understand, basically if they have no way to compare it, you just sound crazy. It doesn't matter if you're talking in facts.
Unfortunately.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how it does relate. It doesn't matter that it's 2,500 years ago. The whole point behind the allegory of the cave is this idea of perception. And if you don't have an accurate perspective of the world, then, or not even of the world, like, because it's all subjective, but just the idea of when you're trying to present something to somebody who has no idea, you have to prepare for cognitive dissonance, for their ego, for any rebuttal that may be opinion-based and not in fact at all. And wrapping it back to simulation theory is basically what they said is this is kind of our earliest example. Jesus, I'm sorry. Thought I turned it off. It's our earliest example of somebody saying like, well, maybe we are in a simulation and we are only presented with information that somebody deems us ready for. And every once in a while, for example, sleep paralysis, lucid dreaming, or tripping on LSD, psilocybin mushrooms, it takes us out of our cognitive Kansas and we're able to see things that are actually there, but we have no perception of.
Okay, so with that being said, have you ever had an out-of-body experience?
100% I have. Yes, I've had... Can you hear me okay? So I've had out-of-body experiences with both lucid dreaming and just experiences with hallucinations. I've had experiences where not only could I see myself in kind of more like, as you would describe it, like a physical realm, like looking down on myself, but also, if you're familiar with the term astral projecting, I've definitely had an experience where I felt limitless, and it was literally the most terrifying feeling I ever felt. And if I could explain basically what it was, is I realized in a dream state that I was in a dream, and I took advantage of it, and I thought, how cool would it be to fly? And I started to fly, and I was looking down at the earth below me, and basically the whole idea that I have, like, even though I thought I had control, it was very new to me. And I thought to myself, well, what if some of this on some degree is real? What if I could fall and die? What if in my mind I die and then I don't ever wake up? And that fear of that was so real, visceral, and terrifying that I woke up out of the dream.
Yeah. And that's usually the way that I feel when I have I've never really had one of those flying dreams. And it's one of those 50-50 things where some people who have had flying dreams, they either find it to be like a very profound thing or like a very destructive thing because of that reason. Like you look down and you realize that you're flying and you're in this dream state and you're like, holy shit, I shouldn't be fucking doing this. What happens if I just stop flying? Like, what happens if I stop flying? Yeah, that can be a fucking very scary thing. And that's why I have a respect towards people who can fucking get into a state of lucid dreaming where they can just do whatever they want to and fucking be happy in doing it. Because I've tried to do lucid dreaming before, to be completely honest with you. I guess I've gotten close to it, but like at the same time, I have trouble keeping still for that amount of time.
I agree. And it's also like, I do believe that some people who are able to tap into it more have never considered possible consequences. Because like I said earlier, like the thing to me is like, if some of this is real on some level, even if it's outside of our general three-dimensional understanding.
What do you mean if some of this is real?
So, like, okay, say, for example, like the shadowy figures we see are real in some dimension. Like, they're extra dimensional.
You're talking about those things.
Yeah,
or you're talking about actual existence, like our day-to-day
Well,
life.
do they, like, and that's where I come to, is like, when I've done my deep diving into not only the research of it that's there, but also my own thought, it's like, if there, because it's so consistent in humanity that they're either it's built into our fight or flight basic lizard brain responses, or it actually does have some semblance of reality, right? Mm-hmm. And that fear generally it turned me off from experimentation with myself, because I remember thinking, like, I'm afraid, what if I go too far and I come back and like I'm literally insane, like, you know, like I can't look at reality. Like I literally had that thought. It was like, I can't be a dad, I can't be a functioning human being because I've seen things that people won't understand, and I'm gonna sound crazy. I remember having that thought, and that's when I stopped like trying to explore that side of myself.
Yeah. And I don't know if I've had the same thing through that specific perspective, but I understand the thought of being like, am I insane? Because like sometimes you just, I know me and you are a lot like this, and like the older and get, the more and more I like understand that like people may not have the same like thought processes that like we do.
For sure.
And like, dude, sometimes I do some things and like a day later I think about it and I'm like, did I really fucking do that? Like, was that a real fucking thing? Like, was I seriously that fucking stupid? This happened 2 fucking days ago.
That's reflection and growth, though, and that's something that a lot of people don't have, which is sad.
It is, but like at the same time, you should be proud of yourself. At the same time, like I continue to make the same mistakes over and over.
Well, and that's the same. Like, okay, so we haven't talked about this in the podcast, but I was saying earlier about your higher self versus your lower self. It's easy to give in your lower self. That's your base emotions, right? That's your very animalistic side that will we all form habits, right? Life, like things through life that we form, right? Giving in your lower self is just, it's justifying your bullshit. We actually did touch on that. It's like, oh, hey, today I'll just sit around and play games, or hey, I'll skip the gym, or hey, I'll eat like shit. And it's just habitual. Your higher self is the ability to be like, you know what? I recognize my baser instincts. I'm not going to do that. I refuse to do that. And that takes work.
Here's my thing, though. I don't think that I think in the lower fucking self. I think in the higher self, but continue to still do the same thing because fuck you. Honestly, that's
well,
what it comes down to.
You may have a perspective that I don't have on that, and it could be that you are like experiencing some kind of like almost like teenage refusal to conform angst or pettiness, but like also you may think that you never embrace your lower self, but everybody does. Even like the most powerful monks and gurus in the world do embrace.
Yeah,
and
it's
like,
one of those things where like
you're not there yet.
Yeah,
remind yourself of that.
Of course, and I try to remind myself of that all the time. But at the same time, like
it's a whole thing, man.
I just don't know. I think that I really do believe that I have a higher understanding of myself personally than most people really do. And I know that's like, it comes off as a cocky thing to say, but like I really do understand how I present myself to other people, and I really do understand how that's an incredibly fucking abrasive and like people off-putting thing. Mm-hmm. Like I understand that, man. I say some fucking crazy shit, but at the same time, like I just convince myself that like I'm telling people the realest thing or what is real to me.
Sure.
So therefore, I think that it's okay to say it. And it's been the thing that I am trying to deal with a little bit more. I'm trying to just like voice my opinion less, because I know that like when I voice my opinion, it can get me in trouble.
Right. Well, like I said earlier, what you need to focus on is your delivery. Your content is not bad. It's the fact that you deliver it in almost just a hateful way. You need to deliver it like there is like, okay, so imagine yourself as a teacher, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I try to do. Like imagine yourself, you have to have this patience as a teacher. You can't just go in and if the person who's like, say, sharing their first person story, you can't just go in and crush them and be like, your story sucks. You say, hey, I didn't enjoy your story. Here's how it could have been better. Here's how you like. That's what you need to work on. You may think like that does take a certain degree of thoughtfulness. But if you can't do that, then you can never teach anybody anything.
See, and I do have that thoughtfulness to the point where, like, I recognize that I am doing it. But at the same time, like, I have such a higher standard for things that, like, I really believe that, like, the advice that I am giving to you is going to be beneficial to you.
I agree.
Like, whether or not you take that advice is one thing, but I really believe that fucking the shit that I am saying to you is fucking something that you should listen to.
Sure.
And like it's hard to back that up because like I don't take my own goddamn advice.
I get that.
I fucking don't. I tell people all the time, like, don't do the shit that I do. Shit that I do is fucked up. Don't fucking do it.
So what you are literally saying though is that you're understanding of the fact that the way you give advice is not proper.
But I still do it anyway.
You need to learn, literally, like what I said earlier. It takes an understanding and a way. It's salesmanship. It's literally salesmanship. A way to disarm yourself so you're not grandstanding, cocky, or coming off just like pedantic in general. Just like the whole thing is just like you need to find a way to get through to a person that disarms their ego and sets aside their boundaries. So maybe the information may affect them.
But see, I have different levels to the people that I talk to.
Sure, of course. But that also takes, if you're talking wisdom, it takes wisdom and perspective to know, okay, so like something I say about myself is I could talk to a crackhead on the streets as well as I can go talk with President Obama. I really could. It doesn't, I can relate to people, you know? It does take time. I wasn't always like this, but you could be that. You know, just like Dalton's really great at it too, the way he talks to people.
Every country I go to.
Yeah, you're incredible.
It's like I pick up this fucking lingo that I don't even know exists.
Right. But it's relatability. It's like seriously, it's the ability to see another person and like kind of have a reflection of how you see yourself in them. Like I see the same mistakes I make. I can relate to them. They're human. How can I get them to see something in a different perspective? But then also what that does grant you, and this is really important, especially in my life, is it grants you the open-mindedness to be like, whoa, what am I missing by talking all the time? And I remind myself to shut my mouth and listen.
Yeah, and that's something
then you
that
learn
I've been
a fucking lesson.
That's something that I've been doing a lot more recently, and
Good for you.
It's helpful.
It's a huge thing. You want to talk about fucking personal growth? It takes listening, even if you disagree completely. You should always. It's like mental gymnastics.
It's like human nature. Sorry to cut you off, but it's human nature to try to like one up people.
Yeah,
and like, dude, at the end of the day, nobody gives a fuck about what you have going on.
Right.
Sit back and listen, because I promise you, just as bad as you think you have it, people have it way worse.
For sure.
And bro, sometimes people just need someone to listen to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. What are we at now, time-wise? I'm sorry. I'm curious.
We're at about an hour and 25.
Buck and a half.
May I share something with you guys?
Of course.
So I want to talk a little bit about Wubbs by the Waterfall. For anyone
Please promote for us. Okay.
No, for sure.
What is today? The 26th?
Yeah, we are 20 days out.
June 26th. Okay, guys. A big event is coming out. And Jack, I've known him my whole life. Very proud of him. Tell me about what you got going on.
So 20 days from now, July 16th to the 18th, we have Wubbs by the Waterfall. It is the biggest event Heyman Entertainment has ever thrown. It is absolutely going to be beautiful. We have pulled out all the stops as far as accommodations for people, what their ticket prices are going through. Not only is the production going to be next level, but we have a legitimate...
if you don't know where Cookeville, Tennessee is, this venue, beautiful.
We have literally a full-fledged waterfall 3 minutes from the venue. It is part of your ticket price to be shuttled there.
Hour from Nashville.
An hour from Nashville. Whole thing, and it's going to be incredible. I would definitely appreciate the support. Reach out to Jack Hay Jr.
How much are tickets?
So right now we actually just entered Tier 3, which before fees is about $125 for a 3-day event, for a camping event. If you're into electronic music.
3 nights, $125? Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm saying, brother.
Good for you.
But we're coming up on that, and before whatever Keith, how he likes to wrap up things, I would like to share something real quick outside of that. So we were just talking about Plato's Allegory of the Cave. Something I wrote last year, if you guys are familiar with, I'm a huge fan of space science. So the Perseverance launch that went to Mars and deployed our latest I'm blanking on it, but our rover there. Yeah. So
we deployed a drone, didn't we?
Yeah. There's a drone that comes off. It's incredibly advanced, and it's just I love it. But when Perseverance launched, I remember being really struck with this inspiration, and I wrote something I'd like to share with you guys, and it has a relation to Plato's Allegory of the Cave. Basically, it's about perspective. So it's titled Perseverance, and it goes, imagine being on that rocket ship. What a wild feeling to watch the world you thought you knew become a fractal as you blast toward the void. The people turn to incomprehensible colors so quickly that it must seem like still art. The cities that fill our realities become beacons of light as our perception of the world shatters. We learn instantly of our significant insignificance. Everyone we've ever known are down there as we drift toward the objective in the name of exploration. The human condition requires such adventure, and our infinite godlike potential enables some semblance of safe travel. As we sit, destined to arrive on a giant ball of red dust 6 months from now, we begin to realize how silly all the little things that bother us are. Yet we are human. Our connections to one another and our planet are seemingly unbreakable. We feel the growing distance in millions of miles from those we love, but we love them no less. But imagine being the space person, setting off knowing he or she may never come home. Then imagine coming home and sharing your perspective with the world. How quickly our world's problems would start to end if we held ourselves to a higher standard of love, unconditional love for one another, no matter the color, culture, or class. The spaceman sees nothing but the bright blue, green, white, and brown that makes up our oblate spheroid. If only we all had that perspective. Thank you.
All right. Beautiful shit, Jack. That was nice. That was nice, bro.
Thank you.
That was nice. I really appreciate you coming on, and Dalton as well. I think Dalton went to the bathroom, but it is what it is.
A lot of fun. Thank you.
It's a little bit. There he is. Say goodbye to everyone, Dalton.
Guys, thank you so much for the celebrity appearance. I will be back soon. Thank you for your ears. I know we kind of dragged it out, but hey, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for listening. You guys are beautiful. Love you.
Thank everyone for tuning in who did this. I think this was an interesting episode. We're going to see a little bit more what happens tomorrow.
Please.
With this
Bring it
episode.
on.
But I thought we had some very interesting conversations. We've had some very interesting conversations all night. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes, thank you so much.
I think we did a good job, guys.
Good night.